Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is. Now, listen, CamRon and Mase, the Harlem Legends, they are on a tear of epic proportions, ladies and gentlemen. Pause. Listen, you already know what it is. It is what it is, number one. They just had Stephen A. Smith, the legend, the Queen's legend. Now, they coming back with a heavy hitter in Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall, this is going to take the airways by storm. It is what it is. If you're not in tune, you got it all twisted. Make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports for more news, updates, and more on everything Cam and Mase got going on. Now, listen, let's get into it. Phonics, what's the deal? You see what's going on with these
What's
Harlem
good?
legends. What's your thought before we get into what's going on with Brandon Marshall? Because that's the next guest. They seem like a never-ending cycle of big guests now. What's your thoughts in totality on what Cam and Mase is doing? I'm not sure if you're familiar with the show Talk to the People. It's Flight Sports.
Of course, I'm familiar with this show. I mean, I'm a long time fan of Mason Cam. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those are legends to me in the rap game. Also athletes in their own right. Both went to Manhattan Center High School in Manhattan. Both played ball. Both were nice in ball. Cam went on to college to play ball, short lived, but he did play college ball. And you know, Mace was nice in his own right. I think what they're doing is epic for the culture, man. And I really mean the culture when I say this because you know, you have two rappers, you know, who've came together and their sports show is being legitimatized. Because when you have somebody like Stephen A that comes on your show, you ain't no walk in the park. You ain't no clown. Stephen A ain't gonna just come on anybody's show. So he respects what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And for them to have Brandon Marshall coming up next and the things they're doing, that shows you that like they're getting an eye. Now the only thing that I would be real cause for the pause for, I don't want to see them on mainstream TV. I gotta see them where they can keep being raw like they're being raw. I don't want them to be, you know what I'm saying, silenced or you know what I'm saying, they can't say certain things. I want to keep the show the way it is. But I definitely think that this is up and coming, man, and hopefully nobody else tries to bite their style, but we know they are. But I think it was real original for Cam and Mace to come back together, who once had a long-standing beef that spanned almost 20 years. You know, childhood friends, high school teammates to come back together and make this happen. It's epic.
Nah, you're right about that, Phonics. This is epic. I thought, like, I reported that it was big for New York City, everything that they got going on. What's your thoughts? You see Stephen A. Smith, that was a major interview. And crazy to even get a guy like that. Like I said, these are guys are bringing in people that we normally see on TV, but they're getting them in a different element. Now, Brandon Marshall. What can the people expect from Brandon Marshall? What's your thoughts on him as an analyst? Obviously, we know what he did as a player. Talk to the people on Brandon Marshall one time. This is a big interview coming up.
Number one, yo, Brandon Marshall was a beast. Denver Broncos, Jets, wide receiver, big boy. He was a beast, man. He had some internal issues, and I think that's what cut his career short. However, he revitalized his career as one Shannon Sharp did. He was a broadcaster on CBS for a few years. He did very well there, and he went from there and he established I Am Athlete, his own podcast. And it's not just a podcast; it's a training facility for athletes. And I'm paraphrasing him, and I could be wrong, but I think he said he put like 23 or $30 million of his own money into it. He had the likes of Fred Taylor on there, who of course went on to the pivot with Ryan Clark. Who's the other dude, man? Who's the other dude, other country boy? Who played for Miami? Forget his name. He's nobody though. And he also had LaShawn McCoy, who LaShawn McCoy now is on TV. He's on Speak on Fox FS1, and some are saying that he's going to replace Shannon Sharp or Undisputed. So Brandon Marshall is an excellent person to network with, not just having a show because he's going to speak well and he knows how to analyze. But yo, the connections that Cam and Mace is making now is epic because there's a reason Brandon Marshall's on there. Y'all better peek this. Yo, you're hearing it right here first on Flight Sports. They're going to have some business that's going to be in the works behind the scenes. Watch what I tell you.
Right. You speak of a guy like Cameron. A lot of people are unfamiliar because we New Yorkers. We kind of understand what he's doing. Speak to like I said, Cam is transcended. It seems like he's going into a new phase of his career right about now, a resurgence. He's always seeming to be relevant. Obviously, we know what he did as a rapper. He came up. Biggie was supposed to sign him. That's no rumor. That was factual proof. He did the movies. He transcended colors. He was wearing certain colors before it was popping. We know what he did with the pink, and that just transcended into something else. Now, for him, you seeing all these rappers, legendary rappers, they going into movies, they going in, and Cam did that, but they going into TV. It's kind of crazy how Cam done. They doing podcasts as well. Cam done flipped the script. Seemed like he opened up a new lane and did something else that ain't nobody was doing. He popped off with the sports show. Talk to the people how this is crazy. I mean, how he just came up with this one.
Well, to correct you a little bit, Cam was signed by Biggie. He had a Mase brought him in front of Biggie, and he was signed to Biggie and Lance Rivera's Entertainment Records. Him and Charlie Baltimore. So that's where he released his debut album, Confessions of Fire, Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment. But Cam always just he's a reflection of Harlem. He's flamboyant. He talks smack. He can be fly, and that's why people like listening to Cam. And it's like the older he gets, the more in tune he gets with the people and the culture, man. And I think that's gonna boost their show even higher. And then you brought Mase in. Mase is a little laid back, but we find out that Mase is funny as hell, especially the way Mase talk. And Mase always been talking like that. He's always had the slow, drawn out talk. But when you hear him say certain jokes and they laugh together, you can see that it's organic. It's nothing that's false. You know what I'm saying? You can see that there's no beef behind the scenes. They get on the show and they just doing the damn thing. Like it ain't no producer coming in with the, you know what I'm saying? They just do, and I think your show is like that, and more shows should be like that. I think they'd be more successful. Cam is a legend in his own right. Not just in rap, pop culture. Like you said, first rapper that would wear pink, didn't give a damn what you say, pink furs, all kind of pink, you know what I'm saying? All kind of different jewelry, and you know what I'm saying? Cam has been a trendsetter, and that's what Harlem dudes are. They trendsetters, always have been.
That's fact. Shout out to Harlem. You already know what it is. Listen, and also not we talk about acting. A lot of these artists getting into movies, TVs, you paid in full. Now that movie was a pure classic. Not a lot of people got classics under their belt. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's Flight Sports. And listen, my man Cam is putting on classics right now. What is going on? What it is? What it is? What do you think of the way they speaking on the clothes? What do you think the way they speak on this show? Do you think this is going to be a new evolution for sports media?
I think it will be, but I don't think if you don't have the balls, if you don't have that kind of swag, you're not going to be taken as serious as Cam and Mase. They saying stuff that I would say, you know what I'm saying, and they're not being sensitive. It ain't no hold on, wait, I don't say this about this certain athlete. Nah, they putting it out there, man, and I think we need more of that. I'm tired of people, channels, whoever that coddle to these athletes because they might want to interview. Cam and them ain't doing that. They ain't doing that. They don't care if they get an interview or not. Well, hell, a few episodes ago, Cam came out portraying Dylan Brooks, straight clowning dude. You think Dylan Brooks is ever gonna come on the show? Probably not. What do it matter though? It don't matter.
Make sure you subscribe to Flight Sports TV if you're a fan of Cam and Mase. And if you want more, it is what it is content. We're going to be bringing the avalanche. It's Flight Sports